The Isle of Wight, often celebrated for its picturesque landscapes and tranquil lifestyle, has become the center of a brewing storm. Islanders, once drawn to its charm, are now feeling trapped and isolated, with some even regretting their decision to move there. Why? Because of skyrocketing ferry costs, unreliable services, and what they perceive as being held to ransom by ferry companies. Imagine paying £440 just to cross the channel for essential services or family visits. As tensions rise and frustration boils over, many locals are finding themselves at a breaking point, eager to escape the island they once loved. For the residents of the Isle of Wight, what was once a peaceful retreat has turned into a logistical nightmare. The cost of traveling to and from the mainland has soared to an eye-watering £440 for a return journey, leaving many feeling cut off from the rest of the country. This staggering price is not just a financial burden, it's a symbol of the growing discontent among islanders who feel they are being taken advantage of by the ferry companies that control their connection to the outside world. The island's limited health services mean that many residents are forced to travel to Portsmouth or Southampton for essential medical care, a journey that is becoming increasingly unaffordable. As ferry cancellations and delays add to the frustration, the sense of isolation intensifies, making life on the Isle of Wight less of a dream and more of a distressing reality. The situation has reached a critical point for many Isle of Wight residents, who now face the grim reality of being effectively held to ransom by the ferry companies that monopolize the routes to the mainland. White Link and Red Funnel, the two primary ferry operators, have adopted a flexible pricing model, similar to that used by airlines, which means prices can skyrocket during peak times like Cowes Week or the Isle of Wight Festival. This has left residents in a difficult position, where even a short 4-mile journey from Lymington or a 10-mile trip from Southampton can cost as much as £440, depending on demand. The lack of competition and the high cost of travel have sparked outrage among islanders, who feel that their needs are being ignored in favor of profit. Bronwyn Hamilton Brown, a retired head teacher, founded the White Link Users Group in response to the worsening conditions. With nearly 8,000 members on Facebook, the group has become a platform for residents to voice their frustrations and campaign for better services. Hamilton Brown herself has experienced the hardships firsthand, struggling to make the journey from Ryde to Portsmouth due to the early curfew imposed on the last passenger ferry. Her sentiments are echoed by many others, including Paula Brizzleton, whose partner, Chris Tunnell, has been forced to endure delayed and difficult trips to Portsmouth for life-saving dialysis treatments. The lack of a renal unit on the island, combined with the exorbitant ferry costs, has made an already challenging situation nearly unbearable for Brizzleton and Tunnell. The fact that his life-saving trip was once delayed due to no space for an ambulance on the ferry highlights the severity of the problem. The impact of these ferry issues extends beyond healthcare. The high cost and unreliable services are also affecting the island's economy and social fabric. Richard Haywood, another member of the White Link Users Group, points out the irony in White Link's marketing slogan, "Keeping families together," when in reality, the high costs and restrictions prevent residents from sharing their passes with family members. Businesses, too, are feeling the strain, with tourism, a vital part of the island's economy, taking a hit as potential visitors are deterred by the steep travel costs. Simon Jackson, a local resident, has even started a petition to bring national attention to the issue, gathering over 4,000 signatures in just a few days. Jackson, like many others, is frustrated by the lack of regulation and the unchecked power of the ferry companies, which he believes are contributing to the island's growing sense of isolation. For some, the situation has become so unbearable that they are considering leaving the Isle of Wight altogether. Jackie Devonshire, who moved to the island 5 years ago, now can't wait to leave, disillusioned by the high costs and the feeling of being cut off from the rest of the country. Her sentiments are shared by others, including specialists who have turned down job offers on the island due to the difficulty and expense of traveling to see family on the mainland. The sense of entrapment is palpable, with many residents lamenting the day they decided to move to the Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight, once a beacon of tranquility and beauty, is now a place where many feel trapped and frustrated. The exorbitant ferry costs, unreliable services, and sense of being held hostage by ferry companies have turned what should be simple journeys into costly and stressful ordeals. As locals continue to voice their discontent and seek solutions, the question remains, will their pleas for fairer treatment be heard, or will the island continue to drift further from the rest of the country? The outcome of this battle will not only determine the future of the Isle of Wight's residents, but also set a precedent for how isolated communities across the UK are treated. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the issues that matter most. What are your thoughts on the Isle of Wight's ferry crisis? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates.